Hello everybody, in today's video I'm going to be talking more about why I started uSports, how did it get off the ground and how did it become what it is today. So uSports, if you don't know already, has got a team of over 100 people. We're based in the Thames Valley in the UK. We expanded into Bristol and into Welling, and we've created a framework now which allows us to basically expand nationally as we continue to grow as a business. And it didn't start from that point, it started from just me, and what started that process of me becoming a better business owner, better manager, better leader, someone who understands finances and marketing and HR and sales. A lot of that, I didn't know anything when I first started. I knew how to coach and I had a passion for coaching and I had a passion for business, but I'd never really ran a proper business when I started. But if I go back to a few months before I started running uSports, I was working for another coaching company, one of the 7 or 8 different coaching companies I worked for throughout my teenage years and my early 20s. And it was only near my 22nd birthday where I was pulled in for a meeting with my boss, and basically there was a change of contract and I didn't like the way it was going. He wanted me to stay, but only on the new contract, and it ended up with us departing ways, and I was left without a job, without having any secure income. I'd saved up a little bit, but not much, and it gave me a bit of a time to refresh and think about what I wanted to do with my life and what I wanted to do moving forwards. And it was an opportunity for me to really think, do I believe in what I'm doing? And the answer was yes, I loved sports coaching, but do I want to continue doing it for somebody else? And at the time I thought, I wasn't completely against it, but I wanted to try what it was like going out on my own. So when a customer that I knew through this other business reached out to me and said, look, Charlie, if you set up your own business, we'll use you. So that's what I did. A few weeks later, I was going to the accountant's office to register my new business. I was about to call it Chase Academy, and it made no sense. It was Charlie Hiscox's Academy of Sporting Excellence Academy. So it just didn't really work at all. And it was more like about me as Charlie Hiscox and my academy, and that's not really where I wanted to take the business. And Steph's idea was to call it uSports, which made much more sense. Came with a nice slogan of putting you first. That's something I really hold core to my own beliefs and my own values. And I wanted to be able to put my staff first, put my customers first, and ultimately have everybody that interacts with uSports feeling like they're a priority within uSports. So that's what I did. Went on to start uSports. It was in sort of November 2017 at the time. Actually went away for a couple of weeks to see my brother in Australia, came back, and my first session started in January 2018. So there I was, going into my few after school clubs that had set up at that point, and it was just a case of learning the fundamentals of running a business, making sure that I invoice people, making sure that I deliver good quality, that I've ordered the equipment, and it sort of built into a bigger sort of company within the next sort of few months. Started to employ people, started to have other responsibilities, learning about my taxes, in employing people. And what did that look like? Having to pay people's pensions and national insurances. And I tell you what, that whole phase of actually learning the fundamentals of running a business is something that I didn't really enjoy, and probably still even to this day I don't massively enjoy that part of the business. I've always enjoyed coaching, being able to bring in new work and supply schools with more sessions, to run more holiday camps, to run more sessions for parents in the community. And that's the fun bit about running the business. It's not really the sorting out your tax and all that sort of stuff. But as much as that's not the fun bit, there are so many companies that go wrong because they don't understand corporation tax and VAT and everything else that comes alongside that. And I went through my stages where I didn't know I was going to have to pay X, Y, and Z at the end of the month, and suddenly my accountant tells me, right, you've got this big bill to pay, and I've already spent that money on new equipment or marketing, whatever it was. And going through those times were not really something I enjoyed, but something that really gave me the strong understanding to now be able to run the business the size as it is. over 100 people now in the business, employed, self-employed, and ultimately it's allowed me to have the confidence in bringing new people in, accepting new work. And I always laugh because it used to be in the early days, we would have an after school club come in. It was, like I say, it was just me at the time. And a school would call us up and say, oh yeah, we're looking at getting 2 after school clubs in a week. So that's 2 hours a week of work. And it was the sort of thing I'd dress up, get my suit on, go into the school for a meeting, might get it, might not get it. And if I did, it would be such a big win for us. And I would say, Steph, let's go out for dinner and celebrate. And I still look back on those times with such fond memories, because now, often the work that comes in, it will be a school, oh, we need 2 or 3 PE teachers all day. It's like ridiculous, the change in the size of the contracts that come our way. And I think that's come from, those contracts just weren't going to come in when I first set up uSports. It just wasn't realistic. But now we've got the reputation, we're known by so many head teachers and schools and parents. It's almost just becomes this snowball that started. It's a small snowball at the start, and you start pushing it, and gradually more customers and more staff get onto that snowball, and it gets bigger and bigger. And before you know it, you only need to push it a tiny little bit, and you bring in loads more hours and loads more staff. And the way it's jumped from those earlier days to where it is today, I really look back and think, if I wasn't so excited about the individual hours that were coming in the earlier days, we would not be in a position now where we bring in these much bigger contracts. And for me, when I look back, I think about what my 3 core values that have helped us, and whether that was from day one, the first school letting us come in and do some after school clubs, or whether it's the 100th school. For me, it's about kindness and showing care and being respectful to people at all times. I think it comes down to hard work and not being shy of putting the extra hour in, or being able to, just do that extra bit, on the Friday night when you thought you had everything covered and a coach lets you down and you've got to jump in on a session in the evening rather than go out for dinner or whatever it was that you were planning. It's those sort of things, those hard work, that graft, the desire to want to succeed, I think was there always. And whether that would be, I was not afraid to make 50, 100 calls to new schools and nurseries in a day, or send out emails or letters or whatever it is. I wasn't afraid of people saying no to me. I just knew where I wanted to take the business and how I wanted it to grow, and being able to do that in the early days is something that I think was really important to us. And I think the final one is honesty, being honest at all times, and whether people like that or not at times doesn't really matter. It means that I can leave whatever situation I go to, and I never have to think about, oh yeah, but what did I tell that person, or what did I tell that head teacher, or what was the excuse for, like, if we don't deliver a session because a coach just didn't turn up or whatever it was, I'm not going to lie and say, oh, they were ill last minute, or, if it was on me, it's on me. If it wasn't on me and it was on the coach, I say that, but ultimately all responsibility will come back to me. And that's always been a trait of mine within the business. Even if it feels like there's no way that was my fault, try and take every single responsibility within the business, whether that is good or bad. And not all the time do I have anything to do with it, but there's probably something I did that would lead back to me in some way or another. And yeah, when I now look at how we want to expand the business moving forwards, we're introducing new partners. So we've got our Thames Valley area, which we're going to look after as a core area, but we have Bristol as a partner, we have Welling as a partner, and both these areas are bringing in meetings with head teachers. They're booking in PE lessons, they're booking in lunch clubs and after school clubs, and they are literally doing the same sort of stuff that I was doing in the earlier days, but without the branding, without having to worry about the knowledge and all the taxes and stuff like that. It's literally all done within one. And so it creates this platform to allow new people who are joining the business as partners from completely different areas, and quite often they'll be ex-PE teachers, or they would have been working in a sports coaching business for 5-10 years or whatever it is, and they learnt their craft. They want to allow their financial income to be down to their own responsibility, but without the headache of actually running a business. So our partners who come in, and there's more on our website, I'll put the link in the description. Our partners that come in, they have 2 jobs. One job is to look after their staff and make sure their staff are delivering good sessions and they're treated well and they're given the hours. And the second one is to get more work in, whether that's at holiday camps or community sessions or in schools. And we can support them massively with that because we already know how to do it. But we're now looking for people similar to me when I was first starting up, people who are ambitious, who have that drive, who have that ambition. And quite often sports coaches, PE leads, they're not going to be the people who are going to be completely going through the finer details with a fine tooth comb going for the corporation tax and VAT. And what you quite often see is one-man band sort of people set up on their own, don't understand that side of it, and they struggle to break out of that sort of 100k turnover sort of level, and they sort of become this, they sort of get trapped in it because they don't know how to deal with the bookkeeping and stuff like that. And that's where I feel like uSports created a fantastic platform now to replicate what made us successful in the first place, that early days of the passion of every single hour and detail that every single hour got from my attention, being able to duplicate that. So in Bristol, it's not just like another 2 or 3 hours that comes in, it's 2 or 3 hours into someone who's committing their whole career towards uSports as a partner. It is paramount to their success that those 2 or 3 hours are delivered really well. And so it doesn't just become like another 2 or 3 hours for the business, it's like 2 or 3 hours for that partner. And that is something I'm really, really excited for. And I feel like what we're doing right now is creating the framework to allow us to expand more and more. As new partners join the business, they go through a lot of training, and a lot of that training is being documented. It's becoming a video series, it's becoming an online course. A lot of the bits that they need to know to become successful, and they come in and then they basically can start duplicating what we're doing already, but within their area. And I'm so excited for that side of it, and trying to bring together what made us successful at the start, bring in people who are similar to me and have that ambition and success, put it together. And I really think this is going to be the framework which allows us to become the UK's largest sport coaching company. So I think for me, moving forwards, I want to continue to develop the core area, because that's just flying at the moment. Like I said, big contracts coming in every week at the moment, but also look after the partners we've got and make sure that they're successful and they grow within their area, plus look after new and recruit new partners who are going to be the right fit for uSports. So if you are interested in becoming a partner, feel free to follow that link below and get in touch with us. But I'm really excited about it. But for anybody else following this video, please do like, comment, subscribe. I'd love to share my journey as we continue to build the business. And I want to put more video content together for you guys as we continue to grow. But I hope today you've enjoyed this video. If you're interested in following my journey, following uSports' journey as we continue to build and grow, please do like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.